So I just finished the book War and Peace. Like, what is this? What is that book? I mean, I'll show you. Like this beast of a book. I mean, just like a few days back I'd finished half of it, and now I've finished another half, and I am utterly devastated. This book has three volumes, 15 books in like 5 books each volume, 5 books per volume. What? It has 2 epilogues. It does not end here. It has 2 epilogues. Each epilogue a book of its own. It has chapters. Each epilogue has chapters. First epilogue has 16 chapters. The second also has some. What? But having said that, this tiny, this monstrous book kind of sums up life, I feel like. I mean, if Tolstoy had stopped here and not moved or descended into madness, I would have said that he like figured out life. But after figuring out life, he descended into madness. Okay. But this kind of book saves you years and years of like chasing the wrong things. But I don't know. I don't know if it really does, or I'll also descend into madness just like Leo Tolstoy. Who knows? Who knows? But so there are some central characters, then there are some like also like symbolic characters who just are there to tell you about some things but do not like really matter to the plot of the story. One such character is Petya. I would suggest not to get attached to that character. This video has spoilers about the book, by the way. But one such character is Petya. He's supposed to just represent innocence and show how real innocent lives, like people who are in bloom, who've not really learned life, kind of become prey to the military plots, and these people who are like searching for ambition and stuff like that, like who are chasing ambition basically, just like Napoleon. Because we see Napoleon is not, the side of Napoleon is not fighting for survival. They're fighting to conquer. He wants to be the conqueror. He wants to set an example, like kind of have, he just wants to claim dominance. And as Tolstoy later says in the epilogues, that how the epilogues are in one of the chapters. I know my brain is fried right now, but as Tolstoy itself like tells in one of the chapters of the epilogue, that there was a lot in Tolstoy's life, in Napoleon's life, that was on chance, and he was like used as a pawn by the people around him in order to fulfill their I don't know, desires or stuff. Like a lot of what we are and how we think is also like influenced by society, is as shown in like Pierre's case, or like anybody's, in Napoleon's case as well. Like it was chance that was kind of like, there's also this destiny thing that Napoleon was meant to be this person who was supposed to be the cause of so many people losing their lives. Like he started with an army of like 6 lakh people, and only like half a lakh, not even half a lakh, returned back to Russia, to France, which was devastating. And obviously people were very mad with him. But Russia, the said victor of this war, they burned their own cities, their grains, and they were fully on the survival mode. And it seems like you know, um, like the person who was on the, like they refused to become slaves, and they were like, we'll die but we'll not be slaves. So maybe that's something that distinguished them from the other countries that were enslaved at a time. And then there was a point where they were like, no, enough. Because apparently, like, okay, if we talk about India's like slavery or the British rule over India, I think that would like it was completely different tactic. They had come as traders. It was like all mind games. But in this case, he had completely just come to attack and conquer. But if we talk about the other countries, other places that he had conquered in Europe, like Italy and everything, so there I feel it was just that, okay, why suffer? Let's just like um you know, like give up, or I don't know, like be conducive, or be compliant to the attackers. And but here the strategy was defense. They did not like go at offense at any time. Like Kutuzov, the commander, who's like the really wise person who kind of played with the current, not against it, while Napoleon was there at Moscow waiting, not even at the like real capital, which was St. Petersburg. He was at Moscow, and he was waiting for the Tsar to just like ask for a treaty or something. And that's what he's known. He was playing by the rules, but that's where he got defeated. Like because the war, like Russia did not play by any rules. They were not like they were not using flattery, or they were not using sweet talk. They were doing guerrilla warfare. And like they had like burned their own resources, and just plainly they won by like sheer will. And this war also showed us that rules are only there if both parties agree to play by them. Otherwise, rules are just rules can be broken anytime. It's not like a binding contract. Like even if it's a binding contract, people break that too. So I don't know, this is a very deep like study into the whole of that thing. And with that, it's also like a study on character, spirituality, like a lot of things. Oh my god. And like Petya's death specifically is so significant, because it kind of shows you he like represents a proper like group that did not really know what was going on. A lot of people might have even died in the name of Tsar, or like fatherland, or whatever. Maybe till like fatherland, okay, fine, but like in the name of Tsar, you're dying in the name of a person. And it also kind of busts the myth on Napoleon, the greatness of Napoleon as well, like how much of it was based on chance. And when it like the things moved out of the rules for him, he was defenseless. He did not know what to do, and he was just also sacrificed by the people who had made him. Like, wow. Kind of shows you that everybody is disposable, and if you do not respect history, history will not respect you. I feel like he was trying to control history, he was trying to control a lot of things, and that's where he kind of got defeated. So a heavy read, but I feel worth it. I mean, it has so many things. I feel like this 1,000-page book is kind of life itself. I mean, I know I'm like a novice to this kind of literature, and I don't know after how long I can like be ready to pick up another monstrous book, maybe, or like maybe Crime and Punishment, or like maybe one of Tolstoy's work also. What was it, Anna Karenina? What was the book's name? I don't know. Maybe I would pick up one of Tolstoy's work only. But I think like these books actually do have a lot of like life, like they define what life is really about. I feel I should read more of these books. Just like, yeah. So thank you for listening to it, to me. But I think I would go and read Dostoevsky or like the Brothers Karamazov or Crime and Punishment, Anna Karenina by Tolstoy even. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, this was a very tiring read. I don't actually make Excel Excel spreadsheets because I was like, I gotta read, I gotta finish this book before this year ends, because I had picked this book before my fellowship started, and I used to joke to myself, okay, I'll read it in like some months, 2 months, 3 months. I was like, okay, let's set a deadline. At least I'm sure I'll read it before my fellowship ends, and it's like 3 months remaining in my fellowship, and I had like read the like half of the book, or like 300 pages, and I was like, oh god, I gotta read it. So I made the spreadsheet, and now I finally finished it with the help of audiobooks, of course, because oh my god, this just like reading this fine print all by myself couldn't do it. I think I would have read like 50 or maximum 100 pages, honestly. After that, it was all audiobook, reading the book with the audiobook. I was like, what, have I turned autistic all of a sudden? But I don't know, I was just like very difficult to follow through, but totally worth it. There was a lot of parts which were like really entertaining and engaging for me. Especially I like really related with like, I related with a lot of characters at time. Like I related with Rostov, like Nicholas. I liked the Rostov household at first, and then I saw how dysfunctional it was, how it filled you with these ideas of idealism which do not work in the real world. An example is Petya, how naive he was when he went to the war and nobody stopped him. Like I never related with Andrei though. I related with Natasha at times, Pierre. I was like, why am I relating to this guy? But turns out he's like also the main character, so it's okay. I also related to Princess Mary, but shockingly and scarily for me, I related to Sonia as well, and I'm like, because that self-eraser is something that I hate a lot, and that like the fate of Sonia, how she just like, she really liked Nicholas, but then like whatever the self-sacrifice thing, she wanted to be that ideal person, and but internally she did not want to let go of Nicholas. She kind of just took a risk there. She was like, okay, I know he'll not be able to marry her because Andrew will live, and they both, Andrew and Natasha will marry, and then he'll, by default, he would not be able to marry Princess Maria. But that didn't work out too well for her, and she turned out just like, she ended up turning an old maid and not marrying anyone. Basically she attached herself to the Rostov household, just like I think Princess Mary had said with like her while talking to Natasha, during her little talk with Natasha, she was like, she's like a cat who's attached herself not to a person but to a family. That's scary. That fate is scary, and I'm like, you better not like focus too much on self-sacrifice. But that's what the society teaches women, I guess. I think that those are the noble women, but nobody can love them. I mean, when Rostov was also trying to, like, Nicholas was trying to understand his feelings, and he prayed, he wanted to be free of Sonia. And if Sonia had prayed for Rostov, I mean, but like, okay, he wanted to be free of her, and the letter arrived. Like, God did something. What the hell? With that vision thing, he got something. Like, the letter arrives, and he was also just thinking that he admire like when Sonia was taking care of Nicholas's mother, he was thinking that I admire Sonia, but I can never, like, I respect her, but I can never love her, because you maybe can love a human, but you can't love like an ideal mm, ideal person or ideal projection. I feel like she's not ideal because she really did want Nicholas, and in the heart of her heart she was like, he'll not be able to marry her anyways. Like, that's not perfection, that's not idealism, but she was projecting idealism because that was her survival strategy. Like, everything just got taken away from her. But when she was like a little child, what was her fault then? Why were her parents taken away from her? I don't know. I just, like, that's the fate that haunted me the most, even more than Andrew. Like, I was like, Sonia, oh god, her fate was like really tormented me and still torments me. I'm like, that's a lesson for you, girl, not to erase yourself. Like, take up space, boldly tell what you want, state your desires. So yeah, whatever. Just that's the end of my rant. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.